Hey, welcome. So, just doing a little replay review for a fan R4. He's struggling with DAK, and he wants some pointers playing against Brits. So, we are gonna view from the fog of war. Our opening moves have been crowd on the right, capping fuel, and Pensapaya capping the left fuel. So, already playing a little bit separated. Not always ideal as DAK, especially when you're starting with a double Pio start. These obviously need the Pike's combined arms to be effective in combat and win fights. So when we're going for a lot of map control here, we obviously can't take any fights, so something to be mindful of super early. That's why you'll often see a lot of Italian combined arms picked because the Bursa, they're obviously call in. They don't get combined arms, so they're quite strong on their own. That's quite a popular 1v1 doctrine. But yeah, let's keep watching. We're gonna keep the enemies. I just showed them there, but what the enemy's doing hidden, so I can give the best sort of possible advice. My other thought is we're playing quite wide, and against early game Brits, especially with the possibility of Aussies, you are going to lose engagements, so I think it's best to maybe stake out one side of the map. Like you've already got better income at the moment because you've gone so wide, but I feel like you're going to lose it more easily because you can't defend it as well. So it's quite tricky, but I think you kind of need to. I've seen maybe some successful players just kind of lock down this side. But yeah, it is tough because harassment is good over here on the right. We are floating quite a bit. I can see we're probably thinking about getting our tier 1 structure up, getting our assault grens. I like to do this build and I like to make a 250 out of my base before I get the tier 1 up because it's quite a good building. Let's see how quickly. Yep. That's what we're waiting for. So we're going to go straight for Assault Grenadiers. But you do need the 250 to make the Assault Grenadiers truly potent. And they also will help you close the distance in on the Aussies so they can't get that snipe off on you. Yep, straight away we're getting decapped, but we are moving away from that. No, we're moving back. Okay. Yeah, that's not too bad. We'll get some obs on whatever's capping maybe. Alright, we got Aussies. They're probably going to want to build something. And straight away we're rushing over. Okay, we got a machine gun. But yeah, I think without any 250, we're really unable to make any meaningful impact on this fight. We're going to probably get suppressed here. We just get out of it. Now I will caveat that I don't play a lot of ones. Oh, this is very risky. Australians have really good penetration. So definitely a miss micro there. I can understand why you're on the flank, and that's good. But remember, the bike's range, that's that's where the bike is. So you could have the bike that far away from the MG, right? About there. You can just right click it here. It should see it on its own and start firing. And then if you're trying to get it to reposition, but you'd want to make that happen while units may be still in cover. But yeah, I think this combo with this guy in base, you've lost that fight. So you'll probably lose this crad now. Oh, very lucky. Could be something elsewhere. I think it's quite risky going quite deep like that. But you get lucky, keep it alive. Okay, we're just getting this out now, so don't forget your rally points. Get it forward. We're a little bit late on the 250. Oh, we cancel it. Okay, machine gun. Yeah, no, I definitely think you need the 250, especially if you've gone for these guys, because it really is. Assault disembark is like the only way to use them, I think. Especially early game, until you get maybe Vet 1, Vet 2. Otherwise, they just bleed a lot on the way in, especially if the Vet 1 and Vet 2 harder to hit. They actually become quite like, what's the word? strong after that, or quite protected. If you really want to go hard into assault grenadier play, it might be an idea to get veteran squad leaders, but I don't think that's really optimal DAK play. So yeah, machine gun I think isn't maybe the best. I think you want to think about, okay, they've made a machine gun, so I can get that, and the assault grenadiers are probably the best unit to retrieve their machine gun. You've got a window before they hit 1 CP, so you can roughly keep an eye on your own command clocks. Out 1 CP, they're going to get that 2-pounder, and it's going to invalidate your 250 if they've got Australians. You need to be thinking, okay, I've got roughly a minute or two maybe to make a play here. A lot of times people will only make Australians and not anything else. So get that 250 up, jump them straight in. I usually have my 250 like ready to go out of the base, and then use it for healing, and then back it off, usually repair it with these guys, jump them in, head straight towards that MG, and then try and either get a free grenade assault on it. Grenade assault is free, so no munitions cost there. You just do it with the timer counting down, and try and wipe that machine gun, take it home and get it back. That way, yeah. 250 is just a lot of value. I will usually go 250, and if I'm going to use it super aggressively, get the combat half tracks just for the extra health and armor. It usually means I won't lose it so easily to like a dingo or just the Aussies, or even the 2-pounder. I think takes an extra shot to kill it. Yeah, so you need to be using combined arms as DAK. That's just necessary. So I think a 250 here. Plus, you've got the manpower. You definitely could have probably built 250 and then built a machine gun if that's how you like to play. I don't think it's really playing towards DAK strengths. You want to stay mobile. You want to be hit and running around the map, raiding. I think machine gun kind of locks you down a little bit too much, and forces you to play a little bit more static. But yeah, if we do win this, I just think combined arms we're gonna take less damage. All right. I think this is a little bit risky. We get lucky. There's no snares here, but you do get some good eyes. I think that would have been amazing with a 250 follow-up, right? You see where everything is, you bring their 250 with an assault grenadier on the flank, jump them out, they just like get sprint and run everywhere and force retreat everything.
Supply lines are cut. Territory is isolated.
Alright, so we functionally have no resources now. I think a little bit because we don't have the force, like this is a delayed start waiting to get your tier 1 out. We don't have any P-Grins, we don't have a 250, we don't have much fighting power, we don't have any burst or call in. So we're playing away from where they're strong. We're avoiding their MG, but that has meant we've lost a lot of resources now. So now we're in a tough spot, because we can't sort of progress through the game a little bit and get out maybe a stake D that's going to help us against that 2-pounder. We are winning here. They're focusing down the other unit. Okay. I'm not sure. I think this was on a move maybe, or just a right move order. But if you're going to just right click move it, I reckon get into some cover there. That way you should hopefully avoid suppression. Oh, okay, get that home. Nice. We've still got a machine gun somewhere on our retreat, and yeah, I think the double machine gun here, maybe definitely more of a Wehrmacht play style. The MG34 is not that good. I can understand it that you want it against Australians, but I think to really start maybe climbing with DAK, you wanna think about them as a mechanized faction, using their vehicles. I see a lot of players go for like an 8-rad. I think the Stug Ds are really strong, and they force like a hard counter. They got a lot of soft counters that really struggle to pen. Again, I haven't played lots of DAK in 1v1s, but I think their strength is in being able to get around the map so much quicker, do rapid decap. We don't have any battle groups selected. We know what our enemy's playing. Okay, so that's good. We get a wipe there just because our opponent was a little bit just not paying attention. This is a bit of a sub-1000 Delo game, so we will see some mistakes, but you've really got to take advantage of those mistakes. So at the moment, you've really functionally only got one fighting unit. I think with the Assault Gren, everything else is a defense, support. So we've got to think about more main lines. This is kind of a main line. I would get another 2 of these and a 250. You kind of make a big dive with one, then you cycle it out, make a big dive with the other. This is a decent chunk of munis to use just naturally. And we don't have a lot of muni control, so I think we've also just gotten suppressed. So I think you could have made it out of the arc, plus this is a sight blocker. So just think about how else we can get that machine gun to move. Okay, we smoke, that's nice. Unfortunately, he has gotten that green cover somehow. We're still going to go for the grenade assault, it seems. But yeah, we might get that MG on retreat. Nice. But I think we've still got the problem of our opponent has double fuel. So, and from what I've seen, Aussies into Stuarts is super popular. So I think you want to be thinking about at this point, okay, well, first of all, I need to recap. Don't forget the bike's got self-repair. You've used it also with the Panzerpyres. But maybe use the scouting function of the bike to sort of avoid the fight. See if you can go and cap. And then use self-repair when you're capping on the point. It's a little bit riskier, but it does. You just need to prioritize getting these points back. Otherwise, you're just out of the game on resources. So we've got a wipe, and we're just maybe we're prioritizing taking fights and trying to eliminate units over, which is like winning the battle. But you need to think about winning the war, and that's resources. So you need to this is good, but just don't forget your overall objectives of needing to get resources, tech, get better units out, because what I think might happen, we're going to see some Stuarts soon, and some fast Stuarts. So when the Stuarts come out, okay, so this guy means he's going for a cheeky, I recently learnt this, he's going for the supply run. So this gives you a little bit of information about your opponent. I would also pick this up and get that home. Prioritize picking that up for sure. It does seem like a lot, 3 MGs. But hey, you don't want your opponent to have it. I think this is also why it's not a great idea to make an extra MG with DAK. I don't think you really needed it. I do understand how it counters other MGs. Anyway. Alright, back to this fun little circle. So that means the supply run's inbound. So that tells you 2 things. One, that it's obviously vulnerable when it's going out there. But we haven't gone for a 2-pounder. And I would say that's because we haven't really gone any vehicles, right? We haven't gone ambulance, which we do. The 250 has healing. It is a bit more micro intensive, but I think you need to practice, learn that, use it. You just back it off into base when you've had to retreat a lot of units, which you did have both of your Panzerpyres in there at one point, and this is a bit low. So you just bolt them all together. It takes about 10 to 15 seconds, and you're all healed up. I think we've also been quite fuel starved. So quite delayed, you could be, if you'd had your own fuel, you could probably be getting a flak out by now, or even an 8 rad, maybe 30 seconds a minute. But yeah, so just make sure you're paying attention to either your mini-map or your tech map. Okay, so this probably means he's gonna be rushing Stuarts, I would say. I doubt he's going to be rushing tier 3. It's very early. But he doesn't have AT guns, so I need to get some vehicles in, even if that's a 250, which we do have the call in one now. Nice, and we do have more assault grants, so this is great. This is also quite late, and we've been probably about 4 minutes now without good income. Nice, we're going to get the ambulance up to recruit. Not bad. And we still don't have a doctrine picked. So I feel like you should have a bit of an idea what you want to do against Australians at this stage. I still struggle as DAK versus Australians because just Australians have such good... they counter them so well. Armed support with the Flampanzers, nice. I don't mind Italian arms, Italian combined arms. But I'm using my Bestiary more for capturing, and this isn't a 2v2 context. And the Australian, the Assault Grenadiers are doing more of the fighting, Assault Disembark. You could maybe use the call-in Canone, but I think that is a bit of a meme. Maybe not as effective in 1v1s. Plus, like, they can just right-click and move out of the shot, so... I also really like the rapid capture. The 25% extra cap rate does mean things come in quite fast. So yeah, it's returning to base now. We should be preparing for Stuart's, thinking maybe Panzerjäger, assault. Okay, we're building a tier 3. So I think what this has done, we've kind of made a decision here, and you are starting to get back onto the map, but you're just kind of capturing what you should be holding. Like, maybe that's starting to get into your enemy's side, and usually one of these. But I feel like we're missing the pace of the game. We're missing the clues that our opponent's going to go for a tank rush with the supply run, and we're not prioritizing getting a vehicle out quick enough. This just delays our vehicle. And we might lose our fuel again, and we might be without an 8 rad as well. So, I think personally in our position, when we're off fuel for so long, we probably needed a tank gun, anti-tank gun, or a Jaeger, because the Stuarts are probably coming soon. Aussies into Stuarts are really strong, really common. So just make sure you read their build and trying to react appropriately to it. If you're going Martyrs out of here to counter the likely Stuarts, they're really tricky to use. And there's a lot of shot blockers on this map. I find Martyrs, I struggle with Martyrs. And they can be quite tricky. And I feel like we're getting some fuel now, but we'll see. We'll see how this goes. That's just my initial thought. Okay, we don't obviously want to be blobbing these two on top of each other. They're covering the exact same field of fire. To make sure we're separating our team weapons. We kind of okay. I understand that. Yeah, maybe one here, one here, one here. I feel like what a set of Stuarts could just roll straight through here, force retreat everything, and like let's have a look what's wrong with our composition. We have no anti-tank, and our opponents had our fuel for a good amount of time. So just reiterating that, prepare for vehicles earlier. I definitely think one of these MGs could have been a Panzerjäger, could have been maybe most of the way to an AT gun. Alright, I thought I could hear a vehicle. Yep, perfect. This is how you want to use it. You can keep them in there. I think I'm just hearing a 250. So yeah, he's just running straight into MGs. Nice. I could hear the Stuarts. Yep, double Stuarts. So I was kind of expecting it, and now we've lost our only vehicle. Okay, this you do change it, but you're building the recontractor. So I definitely don't think you saw the circle on your minimap that the supply one was coming in. And I'm pretty sure I could hear something in fog, and it wasn't our 250. So if you start hearing those vehicles, you see things being crushed, or physics objects being tossed around, you should back everything off. And yeah, you have gone for Martyr, but we've already got 2 Stuarts. So two Stuarts are just going to overrun that Martyr. You've got no snares. You haven't been putting down mines. So sort of once they're on the field and marauding around, it's hard to put mines down. I just think we're kind of... I don't think we're in a position to put down our tier 2. I think we probably could have stayed in tier 1 and just be thinking about anti-tank because we'd given up fuel for so long. So we're soft retreating. Okay, good. We're full retreating. Good. And I mean, you can start putting down some mines. This might be... I don't know if you have Panzerjäger, but Panzerjäger just hard counters this with the Shreks. So, if you don't have it, might be an idea to save up your points or maybe your pocket money. Otherwise, there's no really insta response in like that you can get out now with the battle groups you have. So, if the point of you saving your battle group was to try and respond to something, you don't have anything. I mean, actually, you do have the Semavente. So that's probably if you're saving your battle group to get a call in to respond to something that the enemy does, it's probably going to be Semavente. And Semavente is probably a better choice now than the Martyr. It can at least tank the Stuarts a little bit, but you do want to back that up with either a pack or a Panzerjäger. So we're just losing a bit of manpower here. We didn't get any mines down. We might even lose that. We've got a very risky ambulance, but it's kind of not in base, so it's a little bit safe from the Stuart rush. But yeah, you need to be thinking mines. Probably could have been thinking about a battle group. Semavente is probably a better choice. I can't tell how much, but I think it's like 50 or 60. Yeah, if we're going to get 1 Martyr, we probably want 2. We're still quite close there, so one Stuart will force all that off. So you could put AFK 1 MG over here. Just spread them out a bit. Yeah, I mean, you can see your opponent isn't paying that much attention. He's probably just microing around. He's also going for another supply run. So it looks like he's going to try and just close this out with Stuarts. So we're going all in on Martyrs. They're not the best. Yeah, I think you need something to take the damage, like a Stug. You need something to distract and like so the Martyrs can get to work. You need like a bait tank. Stug's really good for that. Even maybe the Semavente could be good. This is super aggressive when there are Stuarts roaming around. I would be keeping it back here maybe with mines here, and even 3 here. Or if you're going to keep it in base, yeah, mine the base. Maybe keep the ambulance over here because he seems to want to play through here. But you can play, like, we've got the team weapons. We could just keep going with that a bit more static, so yeah. Straight away just rushing the base, so we've got the munitions. Once you see this many like light tanks, he's definitely going to go marauding. He's looking for your ambulance at the moment, but get some mines down. Panzerjäger's good. We have chosen armored support. Panzer Storm, okay. I mean, I don't know if this doctrine, maybe the command tank, but it's going to get countered by Stuart. So I don't think this doctrine has any instant response. Okay. So these could lose that fight, depending, because they do have a tendency to miss. We don't have any snaring squads. But yeah, they are just removing your buildings, so that's... We need to respond to that, and yes, we do miss a lot. We do lose our buildings. So I think just a bit of a misread there. We haven't maybe seen the second supply run, so he's going all in to win on Stuarts. We've spent a big, like, we've got our resources back, but in that period in between, we spent a lot of resources on getting some Martyrs out. And like, you can probably, well, no, you can't, but yeah, I think from here I just start spamming Jaegers. Panzerjägers. But you probably could have kept getting out Martyrs from here. I just feel like he's gonna all in you now and yeah, and win, unfortunately, because Martyrs just do this and they don't have a turret. So yeah, I think you would have been in a safer spot with mines, Panzerjägers, and an AT gun. But it was also just having your army over here. You couldn't fight over here because you didn't build those early units, or you didn't use them together. We didn't have a 250 to try and flank that early MG. They got our fuel, and then after they have our fuel for like a couple of minutes, they can absolutely rush Stuarts out. So we've kind of lost it here. Our ambulance is found; it's going to get destroyed. So yeah, you really need to catch these out. You're thinking mines. You're thinking Panzerjägers can get killed on retreat, but if you make 2 or 3, you can probably nearly one-shot a Stuart, and then retreat the low health one while keeping 2 still firing. So I think it is GG here. Yeah, probably because we just end up using 2 of their machine guns together, so they're as good as one, right? The MG34 is only really good for suppression, so I think we kind of didn't need to build that extra MG, and with that manpower, we could have had a Panzerjäger out. So we just you haven't been able to counter vehicles. You also haven't been able to use the DAK, the DAK vehicle and their abilities. The assault. I think you used it once. The assault spark. So focus on using it more for sure. You can get the combat half tracks. And you had a small window where the combat half tracks could have been really powerful. I don't know if you see the supply run, but because they haven't gone 2-pounder. Okay, we rebuild here. We're going for another martyr. So yeah, I think this is a mistake because you saw what happened to your first martyrs. So we're just kind of doubling down on the loss here. I think we've also we've taken too many losses for what we took down. We've lost an ambulance, 2 martyrs. I don't think lost a single Stuart, so I think it is. Yeah. But, it's always a chance of company heroes, maybe. Anyway. We're just going to speed through this. Like, still, your opponent's throwing stuff away, but yeah, mines, he's so careless. I could kind of read this from, like, minute 4 or whenever you have that supply run. We just don't have the army to counter this at all, and martyrs are, like, not a great counter. Martyrs are good for, like, Matildas. You have 3 or 4, maybe a Crusader. But yeah, cover and P-Jägers, anti-tank guns. If you get to tier 3 of Flak 88, but yeah, this is just going to keep happening. We're using them separate. We have I think we've just forgotten, or we don't have the micro. Forgotten about mines. But yeah, mines make this play a lot harder. He's just right clicking around the map, and we've gone AFK. You're not happy with it, but I think you also, you've got to take some responsibility. That early game, you lost the fuel. If you see a Brit and they have Aussies in their loadout and you're playing DAK, like chances are you're gonna get Aussies. So you need to be preparing for that. Yeah, Aussies into Stuarts, it's meta at the moment. Yeah, so it's meta. It's always gonna. You could probably expect it in, I don't know, maybe 70-80% of your games, and you need to make some more anti-tank units. Yeah, it is tough. But yeah, I already spoke about too many MGs, too late on the martyrs, and also like very hard map for martyrs to use. There's too many shot blockers, and you're kind of just quite reactive with the martyrs. You weren't going in with a screen. You don't have any snaring units, no good like vision units. Your bike was always capturing. It wasn't You weren't using it offensively very well.
He's hit! We have only 250. The day is lost.
Yeah. I can see the frustration. But yeah, I think I went over it in the game. Get a better read earlier. Make sure you're paying attention to the minimap. See what abilities they have. Because yeah, once they start getting a Stuart train, it's tough. You can, I think, Kara Amato does lose to Stuart, but it's all about how well you can leverage those early resources. But yeah, I think just starting off earlier, 250, using the assault disembark, countering the machine gun. You can keep your Panzer Pios behind cover, and they'll be able to fight a little bit better with the combined arms of the bike. They won't have to instant retreat. Just trying to hold those resources. Get the 250 out, use its healing. But yeah, too many MGs, not enough early anti-tank. Yeah, I hope that's helpful. Please ask me any questions.